Welcome back, Truth Seeker. April 23rd, 2020. Today, the first day of the NFL draft. And the tragic story is the suicide of the brother of Dak Prescott, the starting QB for the Dallas Cowboys. If you missed the two videos I put out on this already, definitely check those out. Someone asked if I can look into the death of Dak Prescott's mother, November 3rd, 2013. And I want you to see the very clear parallels between the death of Dak Prescott's mother and now his brother. So notice his mother died, again, November 3rd, 2013. From Dak Prescott's 20th birthday, he was 20 years old at the time, to his mother's death was 97 days later. And death equals 97. And she died on November 3rd, 11/3 like 113. Dallas 113. Now his brother's dead April 23rd, the 113th day of the year. And from his brother's death to Dak Prescott's upcoming birthday is 97 days again. Death and 97. And again, this death comes on the same day as the news of the rapper Fred the Godson, whose death had everything to do with 97, which I covered prior to this news coming out about Dak Prescott. Also, if you missed the videos I put out earlier today, I said why Joe Burrow would definitely be the number one pick. Wasn't a hard call, but showing the ritual is what's so interesting. And Joe Burrow was part of the Super Bowl 54 ritual, which is part of the reason we knew that the Chiefs would defeat the 49ers. Anyhow, in this video, at 9 minutes and 50 seconds, Joe Burrow, number one to Cincinnati. You go to this video, 9 minutes and 51 seconds. I talk about why we'll likely see a blood sacrifice today for the draft, just like we did a year ago for Kyler Murray. And it's the exact same numerical ritual. Just like the death of Dak Prescott's brother from suicide is the same numerical ritual that was the suicide of Michael Gallup's brother, November 18th, 2018, the receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. Again, the patterns are super redundant. If you've never read my book, GematriaEffectNews ebook, the book's nearly 800 pages long. The longest chapter in the book is over 150 pages long. It's called Murder by Numbers. And I made it chapter 20 on purpose because death equals 20, just like how Dak Prescott lost his mother at age 20, and now he loses his brother in 2020. So Gematria, it's based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards, 97, 20, both big numbers with death, very repetitive. Hundreds of examples in this chapter, and since I've written this book, hundreds of more examples uncovered in my blog posts. So again, learn this knowledge, see through these rituals, understand what's really going on, and for a little bit more on why make Dak Prescott the sacrifice ritual for the NFL draft, check this out. By the way, his brother's dead at age 31 on a 31 date numerology. 31's the 11th prime. Football is a game of 11 on 11. But look at this. Dak Prescott was the 135th pick of the 2016 draft. And we talked about this back in 2016 when he was drafted. We talked about why the Cowboys took a quarterback with the 135th pick to replace Tony Romo. That was something we covered in 2016, the day of the draft. Tony Romo 135. And notice when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, NFL draft is 135, just like how Joe Burrow, who went number one today, was drafted 135 days after his birthday. You could also say Joe Burrow was drafted on his 136th day of his age, which is the 16th triangular number, and he's drafted by the Bengals, who lost to Joe Montana, number 16, in Super Bowl 16. Remember, this year's Super Bowl 54 was after Joe Burrow's, or Super Bowl 54 was 54 days after Joe Burrow's birthday, and Joe Montana in Gematria sums to 54. It was the Joe Montana Bowl between his Niners and his Chiefs. Of course, the Chiefs, who he wore number 19 with, won the Super Bowl in the 2019 season that concluded in 2020. And notice this ESPN story. Number one pick Joe Burrow ready to compete to be Bengals starting QB. Go watch the video I did this morning on Joe Burrow and the number 46. There it is in the background, clearly in ESPN's thumbnail, 46. Remember, Joe Burrow, 46. The draft was supposed to be in Connecticut this year, 46. Sacrifice, 46. Don't forget that Billy Cannon, who is the only other LSU player to win the Heisman, and who defeated Clemson in a championship in New Orleans just like Joe Burrow. Billy Cannon died May 20th, 2018, the same day that Joe Burrow signed with LSU. That was his big sacrifice. Again, I covered it all in this morning's video. Joe Burrow, number 1 is Cincinnati. And again, you learn this knowledge, you can just see through all of the world of sports, the numerical rituals, the very repetitive patterns. And it's just sick, man, how people are killed by this code again and again and again. Same thing every year. So, you know, see the videos I just did. I wasn't even aware of Peggy Prescott, and I was just talking about Dak Prescott, 113, 113th day of the year, 97 days. Lo and behold, the same pattern with his mother. And consider this was 3 years before he was in the NFL. This just goes to show what I've been saying all along. These guys' paths are set in stone. You know, he was definitely going to Dallas. I guarantee you, the day his mother was sacrificed, he was going to Dallas. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Dak Prescott does not belong in the NFL. He doesn't have NFL arm talent. Then again, a lot of guys in the NFL don't have NFL arm talent. Throughout the world of professional sports, a lot of these guys are not even the best at their own high schools. Their colleges, they're the ones who are instead born into the networks, have the right families. They're the chosen pawn pieces for the sports chessboard, if you will. Go back and watch years ago when Dak Prescott did the skills challenge on ESPN. Andy Dalton was in that contest. Andy Dalton out of that group that they had clearly had the most arm talent. Dak Prescott was embarrassing. He couldn't even get the ball down to the targets. Way off. I mean, I have a feeling he was partying hard the night before because, I mean, he couldn't have looked any worse. I'd say every JV quarterback in the high school programs of this nation looked better than Dak Prescott that day. But no, this is not NFL talent right here, Dak Prescott. This is someone who was chosen. And, again, these chosen ones, they have a lot of sacrifices around them. So we'll leave it there. Till next time.